It's the Chief bonding with board games and RPGs. We're looking at Free League's Mutant Year Zero Elysium book. This is a continuation of the whole Mutant Year Zero system, which has become famous. This in particular, which you can see from what looks like this, it's like a Russian hat, but this kind of throwback to Silver Era sci-fi, kind of with the uniform. But this is a underground safe haven, a retreat, and it's one of many, Elysium. So having slid the book over, you have a full picture of the depth of this underground giant city silo. Now, part of the feel of this game is Logan's Run-ish. So Logan's Run, the old sci-fi movie, is that there's a group of folks that are living underground, but they think it's the whole world. They think the Earth is completely destroyed. Meanwhile, that's a farce. And when there's an escape, there is a realization that there is a world out there. Now, unlike Logan's Run, the world is still a mess topside. But let's talk about this. So you have the 4 different factions. And what this allows is for this game, this book, Elysium 1, you can simply be playing inside the multiple different layers of this underground. I still want to call it a silo. It's got that center section, but it's so much bigger than that. It's a giant underground city. I love this map. It's peeling back each of the layers. You can see we have what's called the core, and it just goes down and down and down. And the further down you get, kind of the darker and the deeper. So this area is called the Crown. I'm loving the lore that is built up around Mutant Year Zero. So you have the base one where you have the Mad Max kind of feel, and there's mutations, but it's all, you know, that horrible apocalyptic, post-apocalyptic world. Then you were able to move into GenLab Alpha, which is Rocket Raccoon-esque. And then you have this, which is this underground, self-contained city-state, and all the drama, intrigue, and world that goes along with it. You get the players section, the breakdown of the different chapters. You get the scale, this grand cavern, city-like skyscraper structures off to the side. The tech, which this is like a hover taxi that's going to be moving up and down. And then the life, the pigeon, that's just fluttering right into your view as the vehicle descends. And the colors, the purples and the blues and the neons. It's just a perfect representation of what you're about to get into. So you get a breakdown on what sets up these Elysium redoubts, these safe havens. It's 4 dynastic families that pool their money together and start building these underground city structures, silo-like safe havens. They tell you that Elysium 1, which is what we're looking at, is just the first of the Elysiums. And that it holds 10,000 souls. You'll get into all that history, and again, you can see we have this war that's being displayed, and you can also tell it's very high-tech. Through, and another beautiful one-pager. So again, the picture alone gives you this futuristic warrior spy type atmosphere, and with the weapons, you can tell there's an advanced industry here. You can also see the militaristic systems at play with the uniforms. So we're talking about your heir, your individual player. They go into the different houses. They give you their sigil, or whatever they call it. I don't know what they call it here, but you get all the history of the houses and their makeup, their personality. And I will go through each one of the different talents that you can play. You have the investigator, the officer, which again reminds me of Street Fighter, the procurator, the scholar, and you get a very early 1900s feel with that Eastern Bloc kind of touch. 'touch. Even the technician, to me, looks like a soldier. And again, a very nice one page. We're going into skills, but we open up with that Red Baron kind of look and a girl that's taken one right between the eyes, basically. You can see again by the art, there is tech that's definitely involved here. I haven't even read in. I don't know if those are like power tweaks, cyborg type things. And again, a great one-pager that shows you that 1900s kind of feel, with this area having, you know, kind of the train and what looks to be a beautiful like sunset outside, but almost cathedral-like, yet the cigarette. Contacts, a dinner, a clock. Conflict and Trauma, Chapter 6. Combat, right there. You can see it's going on, but again, you get this old like Maxim machine gun feel from this, whatever this is. I don't know what this is, but even the helmet kind of harkens back to World War I-esque. Range combat, we can see futuristic rifle. And again, we get into what looks like suppressed subguns, a pistol that is very sci-fi-ish. What can only be described as a buck the tank and a hover bike. So you get that sci-fi feel coming from this particular game, a hover truck. And again, I'll skip forward to the next chapter. Life in Elysium. And again, what I'll tell you is a very Russian type feel. I mean, it looks like, I thought there might be a statue of Stalin that's similar to this, where he's holding the children. Not the rifle on the shoulder. But then in the background, that's from the crown. Same pictures from the interior covers. Hydroponic bays. And then what definitely shows you what looks like as you go deeper. This is called the deep. You get into that seedier, like underground society feel as you're deeper and deeper into Elysium 1. You can see what feels like almost a miner's kind of touch. The darker kind of fires of what makes the place run. Some very nice breakdowns for buildings or maps that you could use. So again, the artwork's stunning. I can't remember the artist, but they did that lone diner. You know, it feels like it's 2 in the morning. We get into the technology and the science, while at the same time kind of getting that Darth Vader or Jedi feel, or at least cult type behavior. And speaking of cult type behavior, you can see we've got this tech that's kind of overtaking his arm, cyborg style. So you can see the kind of weird world that you're living in with these biomechatronics. Even the word feels like early sci-fi. So we've come into your job as Game Master. Again, if you're planning on being just a player character, you may want to stop watching right now. But I'll just flip through. But again, I just love these one pages. Everything from, you know, the military symbol above, this feeling like it's a theater, getting all kinds of soldierly tech, robotish kind of feel. You just get that oppressive feeling from the art. I can't say enough for, again, the layout, the designers of the books, and how they contract their artist to make the art just bring you into each individual book. It's so well done. Again, great work, Free League. I will stop and show, I love these pages, this theater, which again, kind of feels like that art that we saw at the beginning of the Game Master section. I'm not sure of that, but it sure feels like our perspective in that was like here, the entrance that was leading into it. All right, I skipped over all kinds of cool stuff, but what you can tell when we get into Humans in the Zone is there was tie-ins to GenLab Alpha. I want to say I don't have the robot book, but there's a book called like mechatronics or something, I can't remember, but you can see what's represented here. Again, the artist is phenomenal. The original Mutant Zero book, GenLab Alpha, the book on robots, which I do not have, I think it's currently out of print, and then in the foreground, which is just the beauty of it, is the Elysium character with their high-tech weaponry, their outfit, and meeting, I don't know why I say it that way, but meeting the aftermath, being above ground and running into the representations of the other books. I can't tell you enough how good this artist is. This picture alone is all you need to see when I'm skipping from chapter to chapter. It speaks volumes, and I love it. You can see what Free League is doing with Mutant Year Zero. Not only is the engine super popular, but you can see how their artwork, how the design of each book leads you down a different type of rabbit hole. Awesome. It's just top notch. If you haven't looked at Free League and all of their other games, but you can see why other licensed properties have come to them. Look what they were able to do just with the design elements and the artwork in this book. Phenomenal, top notch. Love it, love it, love it.